Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samharambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varshishtan Devas Rishiganai Avrutam Brahmanishtai Acharyendram Karakalitachin Mudramanandamurtim Swatma Ramam Mudita Vadanam Shri Dakshinamurti Mile Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam Sakala Munijananam Jnanadhataramara Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurti Devam Janana Marana Dukkha Cheda Daksham Namami Chitram Vadataror Mule Vriddha Shishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Sanshaya Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarva Lokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanaika Murtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Chidghanaya Maheshaya Vadamula Nivasine Satchidananda Rupaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijantargatam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivod Bhutam Yatha Nidraya Yas Sakshat Kurute Prabodha Samaye Swatmanameva Dvayam Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namadam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Shri Dakshinamurtaye. So, Kripa, what clicked? गायब ही हो गई. अच्छा है. Too much light from the back. I can't see you. Enlightened. So, what clicked? What is that which is making the dream to happen? It is not making, but it is bringing about the advent of the dream. And what is that which is maintaining the dream?
Unconsciousness. Unconsciousness.
Okay. कृपा बाहर खड़ी थी, कहती है इट क्लिक्ड. मैंने कहा अच्छा I'm going to ask you in the class. Kathy, I forgot the question. So when do you dream? It's not when do you dream. When does the dream come about? When you forget, you are the waker. Correct? And as long as you are in that forgetfulness, आवाज आ रही है ना? हाँ. As long as you are in that forgetfulness, dream will continue. Huh? All these statements, we will then bring them together later on. Keep it there. Right now, understand. Dream is taking place, first rule. Dream is big. Who is the Adhishtan? Waker. And when is the dream taking place? When you are asleep. You are asleep to whom? To the waker. To being the waker. By remaining awake, dream is not going to start. Isn't it? So when you are sleeping to the waker, you are not available to the waker, then the dream begins. In this way. So, and as long, so here it says, where are we? All that is we already covered. And how long, question, how do you prove that the dream world is resting in me, the waker? As long as I support the dream world, as long as I am involved in the dream, taking it to be real, continuing enjoying the imagination, we continue to delve in the dream. We continue to support the dream. Now this link you have to find in yourself. Right now, someone told me when I asked in the morning when this class began that you remember where we concluded yesterday? He said I was blank. But the moment I said electricity, everything came. The entire understanding of the lecture became available. But trigger was required. Just like in a log of wood, a spark is required for the inherent fire, which is unmanifest, to manifest. Isn't it? Exactly the same way. For us, a trigger was required. So what is that trigger for you to be awake? You have to be alert. You have to be vigilant. You have to be the waker. If you are forgetting to be the waker while eyes are open, dream will take over. And as long as you are enjoying the dream, indulgent in the dream, supporting the dream, अच्छा इसके बाद क्या होगा, इसके बाद क्या होगा, होता है ना, in dream you keep thinking what's going to happen next. Sometimes they are not going as fast, but you keep maintaining the illusion. Till then it is continuing. So here he says that the dream is resting in me, it is residing in me, we are saying is residing in me, and it goes, and so it's created in me, it is maintained in me, and it dissolves in me alone. Before the dream also the waker was, after, because he is the basis. During the dream also the waker was, and after the dream is dissolved, the waker is still continuing. Once you wake, so only issue, only the what happened there was you were not available to the waker. That's all, to yourself as the waker. So How do we support? By continuing the sleep, the dream, the world exists. And the moment, and this is true, that when we came to the class, we were blank, someone reminded. Immediately we came into the knowledge. Same way, the moment I withdraw the support to the dream, the moment I stop indulging in the dream, the moment I stop giving validity to the dream, the moment I stop expecting what is going to happen in the dream or whatever the events are taking place, the moment I withdraw from it, immediately I wake up, come back to being the waker. And this must have happened many times during the class also. Many times it might, and this is, but catch, Shankaracharya or the scriptures are writing what is already taking place. They are just giving you a different outlook towards it, so that all that which is taking place, making that as a jump board, you jump back into yourself. You be yourself. So, just for example, how do you withdraw from the dream? So there is a government. Pakistan, there was a government. Why I'm talking of Pakistan, I don't know. But there was, even in Sri Lanka, okay, Sri Lanka also. What was the government? It was a coalition. The government was running the world called Sri Lanka with coalition, two parties coming together. One party withdrew its support. The government collapsed. Power went away. Same way. Can one party by itself continue as the government? Not possible. So same way, the moment the support from the dream is withdrawn, that very moment I wake up to be the waker. And as long as I support the sleep, meaning as long as I support the forgetfulness of who I am as the waker, the dream will continue. And the moment waker withdraws his support to the dream, that very moment the dreamer along with the dream world collapses, and why low battery? What? Hopefully it will continue. Why did it? The dreamer and the dream world collapses, and or the experience of the dream world, he is no longer there. Therefore, dream world तो पहले ही नहीं था. The dreamer has realized he is the waker, so the whole illusion is gone, and we have come back to the original. Now this was with respect to the waker and the dream. You can apply it we'll bring it back to ourselves later on. Now the second point, what is that? The existence of the dream is not its own existence. What do you mean by that? That just like the existence of the reflection in the mirror is not its own existence. It was existing with the support of mirror. Independent existence was not there. Exactly the same way, the dream has no independent existence. It is borrowed from the adhishthan, it is borrowed from the foundation, it is borrowed from the substratum. And who is that substratum? The waker, the waking consciousness. Why waking consciousness? Sattvic. See? And this waker lends its existence, that it exists. He lends his existence to the dream, and in this manner, that without me, the dream world cannot exist. We only say, "Na, I was only dreaming. Now I am awake. Dream world is not there. If I am not there, there cannot be any dream world." We fail to apply that in the waking. That's a different matter. But with the dream, we are working out here. That without me, the dream world cannot. The other person is his dream, or we are here subjectively, in our own experience, we are analyzing. And therefore, the dream world cannot exist. Whereas, without the dream world, the waker can continue to exist. Not everyone dreams. Not everyone is sleepy. Mahatmas are awake. Many people want to sleep, but they cannot sleep. They are awake. Many people do not get the dreams, isn't it? Many days go when we don't dream. Sometimes you cannot help, but you are going through. So understand, and therefore, no dream is possible without the waker, but the waker can continue to be the waker without the dream, and therefore the waker has the independent existence as the foundation, because the mirror had the independent existence with reference to the reflection. The waker has independent existence because it is not dependent on the dream, on the presence of the dream or the absence of the dream. So we are applying the first adhishthanatvam. What were the four? Adhishthanatvam, satyatvam, asangatvam, advayatvam. And we are applying that to this Swapna Nagari, our dream. And then we will see afterwards what happens. What was that afterwards? Yes, sakshat kurute prabodha samaye. That will come later on. First we have to, this simile we have to understand. And so this independent adhishthan, he is the continuous one. He is not coming and going. With reference to the dream, he is not coming and going, he is being there. So he, just like the mirror was not coming and going, all coming and going was happening in the reflection. Here, in the dream, all coming and going is happening, but the waker is remaining the waker. Within next 10 minutes, if you have imagined something, think of your children, think of your sunset yesterday, whatever. So you are continuing to do the same. So you are the continuous principle, and this way you are the truth. You are the satyatvam. Second part, you are the satyatvam. Who? The waker is the satyatvam. We will take another way afterwards, where waker, dreamer, sleeper are taken together. That we will do third time. Abhi हमने mirror देखा, mirror, we saw the mirror and the mirror reflection. Same thing we are applying in the waker and the dream, and then we'll take the next step afterwards. Okay. So satyatvam, that he is independent existence, lending support to the dream, not affected by the dream, not influenced by the dream, not corrupted by the dream. Why? It is the substratum. And the third one is asangatvam. Asangatvam was unattached. The mirror was unattached to the reflection. all the movement, all the fire. We saw fire does not burn the mirror, water does not wet the mirror. Same way, here also asangatvam, that whatever happens in the dream world, and for example, you are trying to go back to India because you have to do a pilgrimage. And all the issues, all the challenges, all the COVID challenges that you had in the dream, they are non-existent in the present, for the waker, isn't it? All those challenges, all the impossibilities were only in the dream. So same way, just like the fire could not burn the surface, burn the mirror, similarly the problems of the dreamer in the dream, because he was at, that is what was happening, that is the phenomena taking place there, they are not, the waker is not affected by them, he is not influenced by them, and therefore asangatvam, and therefore wherever you have, if you have enjoyed your food in the dream, you don't wake up with the tummy full and say, I am not going to eat, I am full already. You have traveled to America or India, you don't wake up and say, I have already gone to India and come, I don't need to. In the dream, you have heard this lecture before. You don't wake up and say, oh, I already know everything. See, if you have, go further. If God has come and given you darshan in the dream, you have gone to heaven in the dream. When you wake up, you come back to that, I am still in the dumps. I'm still the waker. I'm still the waker. So in this manner, the activity that is going on in the dream has got nothing to do with the waker. The activity that is going on in the reflection has got nothing to do with the mirror. Asangatvam. They seem to be together, but actually there is no connection between the two. There is no connection between the two. So the fire, water, emotions, concepts, notions, fears, successes, failures, you have become fat or thin, or you are on a diet or no diet, or you are old or you are young, or you have taken many births in the dream. Many times it happens. You go through many lives. All that does not touch the waker. When you wake up, "Arey teri ki kahan ghum raha tha?" It was just zero. You don't give it a second thought. The wife was so obedient, the children were so obedient, there was no shortage of wealth, all the children and all the society was perfect in the dream. Or it had gone to dogs in the dream. Waker, if it was good, still the waker gives it zero value. If it was bad, still the waker gives it zero value. Why? He is not attached. He is asangatvam. And this way, the only thing that is there is the waker. Dream or the dream world, and the dreamer comes and goes, comes and goes. Dreamer comes about along with the dream only because we are asleep to the, he is asleep to the waker. Now, the same way, Shankaracharya is telling us that this I consciousness, this exactly what we were just discussing, like the mirror and the waker, this I consciousness is like the mirror. The I consciousness has never left us. under all sets of circumstances. Now we are coming to that next point. What did I say? The waker, dreamer, sleeper, all three come and go, but the I consciousness doesn't go. You are continuously the consciousness, isn't it? You have never stopped being conscious. You are not stopped being alive. That is how you know you are conscious. You are not stopped. Life has not stopped expressing through you. I'm not saying as what. I'm not talking about as waker, as dreamer, as sleeper. They are changing. But for that to happen, there must be an unchanging principle. That is the I consciousness. So this I consciousness is like the mirror, or the second example that we took, that is like the waker, and whatever is taking place, the reflection which is taking place in the mirror, or the dream that is taking place when the waker has forgotten himself, that is like the Darpana Drishyamana Nagari, the Darpana Nagari, the reflected, the reflected city, the reflected world. So in this, now so here he says, now we take the Adhishtanatvam, we take the Satyatvam, we take the Asangatvam, we take the Advaitvam, and once we have understood the mirror and the reflection, once we have understood the waker and the dream, now we come to the I. And what is that first one? That this I is the continuous one. It is the substrate. We are talking about the first, Adhishtanatvam. So what is that? That this I consciousness is not the body, because body is part of the world. Mind is also part of the world. So this I consciousness is the... So where do you see the whole universe?
In the mind.
It's there. So either you see, just as you see the world in the dream, here also in the waking, you are seeing the whole world there also you saw it in your mind. Here also you know the whole world only by your mind. If mind is not there, world cannot express, cannot be. So he says here that no part of the world exists outside the consciousness, just as no part of the reflected city existed outside the mirror. No part of the universe exists outside the I consciousness that I am. That I consciousness. And everything, just like in mirror, you can see the furthermost galaxy, the far, the Saptarishi and Ram, Lakshman, Janki and Hanuman, how far they are, the Dhruv Tara, these are all the different constellations, billions of years away. They appear so far in the mirror, but what have we worked out? That far is only an reflection, it's only an illusion. Truth is the mirror. Similarly, what are we seeing? The whole world. Yesterday she captured the Milky Way. This morning, yesterday she tried to capture the Milky Way. Got up at 2-3 o'clock. And then she said, Swamiji, Milky Way did not come. This is something strange has come in. In that darkness you need more exposure. Na? So her phone got click click. Usme jitna aa gaya, utna aa gaya. See? So if she had got the photograph, where is the photograph? on the screen. But screen is the truth. If you take the video of that, everything is happening, but actually nothing is happening. Similarly, here also, everything is happening and nothing is happening. How long it will continue? How long everything is happening will continue? How long will the dream continue? As long as you are asleep. As long as you are sleeping. Sleeping to whom? Sleeping to the waker. The moment you wake up, it's all over. So how long is this going on? The same principle is happening in the waking also. So how long is this reality of the world going to continue? Or we should say, the dream of this waking world going to continue?
Until you are a waker.
Until you don't accept you are the consciousness on whom the reflection of waker and waking world is happening, dreamer and dream world is happening, and absence of them is happening. Till then it will continue. And in that, why did we use the word body and mind also? Because this body and this breath and this mind and this thinking, all that is part of this world only. Because you have, in the meditation, Saturday and Sunday, we saw that you are the consciousness, everything else is apart from you, right? You saw the body was, you are the observer of the body, you saw you are the observer of the breath, you saw you are the observer of the thought, mind or thoughts. But what do you think when you are nodding? सोचने वाली बात है. And who is nodding? Is the head nodding or is the consciousness nodding? Two things will happen while you are listening. Either you will go mad or you will realize. Madness means you will lose your mind. And both are healthy. So, now, what was the status of the reflected world and the mirror? The mirror is existing by itself. The reflected city in the mirror is existing in its own absence. Apply to yourself. The I consciousness exists by itself. The dream world, according to our scriptures, dream world is also the dream, waker dreamer, that dream world, or this waking experience is also the dream, because I is the reality. I consciousness is the reality. So what is the status of the world? Because what is world? That which is changing. What is the status of the world? That which is conditioned. What is the status of the world? That where that which is finite. What is the status of the world? That it cannot exist of its own, in its own independence. It is dependent on someone. And who is that one? I, the consciousness. But I, the consciousness, is independent of the world. Is independent of the world. Just like the mirror is independent of the reflection. Keep applying on yourself. So does the mirror say that this world exists in me? Does the mirror say that, does the mirror give validity to the reflection, to the reflected city? If mirror had to speak, what will it speak? I alone am. It doesn't say, I am reflecting the mirror world, I am reflecting the building, I am reflecting this, I am reflecting that. Mirror doesn't. Mirror is mirror. Similarly, this I consciousness, it is complete, unchanging. And then what is the status of the world? It seems to, just like the reflection in the mirror seems to be existing but is not there. Similarly, the reflection of the world with all its variety seems to be there but actually is not there. Then what is there? Self, the I consciousness. In Bhakti Shastra, when they can't come to this point, they attribute it to Ishvara. When they can't see Ishvara, they give him a form, Narayana, Shiva, or whatever. See? When they can't, Ishvara, yes, where? Then when they can't find him, they build temples. So that whole process is, but again, nothing right or wrong. Again, through the, now here also we are looking at the example and determining that the status of the reflected city is zero. The truth is only the mirror. Now we have applied that example on ourselves, that the truth of the dream is zero. There is only the waker. Come back further, the truth of the I consciousness is true, and with reference to that, what is the status of the world? Here the world will be waking, dream, deep sleep. It is zero. Yet it is appearing. Yet it is appearing. And how long it is appearing? Till we are asleep to the I consciousness. Till we choose to sleep, till we continue sleeping, we are feeding the dream, we are feeding the, the reflection. But actual status of it is, it's not there. And in this way, so therefore, when I come to this I consciousness and I see that I am the real one, and just as the reflected city was changing, it was finite, the dream was changing, and eventually it was zero. Similarly, the entire world of my experience, which includes my body and mind and intellect, all this is appearing, but actually there is nothing taking place. It's existing in its own absence. I am the consciousness, that is the truth. I am the Chaitanya Vastu. I am the Chaitanya Atma. I am the conscious self. The world cannot be conscious self. The world is getting validity because I am. Oh, but you keep it that way. In the sense, now don't say, oh, but after I die, people are still going on. How do you know? How do you know? The world is still going on. You have not died yet. No, when people die, they die, but we are still continuing. Can you go and ask that dead person? Is the world continuing for you? Can you take one step further? Can you ask the sleeping person who is sleeping, tell me if there was any world for you? He also cannot answer. Can you ask the person in Samadhi, is there a world for you? He cannot answer. You ask a realized master, is there a world for you? He also cannot answer. He says what? I am. Story over. That's all he will sit silently. Or Dakshinamurti, he is sitting silently. Ramana Maharshi, he is sitting silently. Zen masters, they are sitting silently. Buddha, he was sitting silently. Well, there is nothing to talk. There's nothing to talk. There's nothing to communicate. Now that was then what is Satyatvam? Satyatvam is just as the dream world does not have an existence of its own, the entire universe does not have an existence on its own. It is borrowed from the consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is the truth because it is the unchanging principle. The dream is coming and going, the waking is coming and going. And within these two, the time is coming and going. Or if you want to go take the whole picture, the picture of waking, dream, deep sleep is coming and going. The picture of the reflected world of, or the picture of the individuality and totality is continuous, and all the 14 worlds are coming and going, but you are not coming and going. Who are you? The consciousness. Be alert towards the consciousness, even while. So you'll say, but then how will I do my duty? That is, you are going into again in doing. Here we are not talking about doing. We are talking about being. We are not talking about doing anything. And therefore, these thoughts have to be pursued in silence, no disturbance, no distractions. अभी आ जाएगा तो distraction शुरू हो जाएगा. Imagine if someone was at the back. Now you understand that if some child or some teenagers, they're sitting at the back and khus, there should be pin drop silence for these ideas to gel, because it's so subtle. It's because it's you, which is cluttered by all the reflection. And little bit disturbance, your attention will go there. Where? To the reflection. You forget you are the unchanging one. And that is why to say something exists, to say you should be conscious of that, you can never talk of the existence of something which you are not conscious of. So, and therefore, existence of everything presupposes that there is consciousness. If chair exists, chair cannot exist by itself. It is inert. There is a consciousness because of which it is existing. That consciousness is expressing as existence in that chair as consciousness here. So now, instead of looking at the chair, you look at yourself. Here you are just taking the whole thing because remember, don't forget, I'll keep reminding, body, breath, mind is also part of this reflection. So, body, breath, mind, world, senses, existing, can they exist by themselves? They can exist. They are existing for someone, no? What is that existence? For who is it for? What is that mirror on which they are appearing and disappearing? That is the self. That is the I consciousness that I am, which never changes. That is Satyatvam. That is the truth. And how are we living? Our body is the truth. We are investing in the future of this body. We are investing in the future of our emotions by collecting memories. We are investing in the future of our wealth by investing. And it goes on. In friendship, in relationships, in networking, etc., etc. All that is, what have we given validity to? Is it the self, the I consciousness, or is it the reflection of the world? We'll come to it. how this world appears so real outside. We'll come to that. Abhi time hai. We'll come to that. It seems so real, no? अभी आएंगे उसके ऊपर भी. But अभी इसके ऊपर कि I consciousness is the truth. Everything that is changing is ephemeral. It is a dream. It is a reflection, and it is taking place where, just as the reflected city was taking place on the surface of the mirror, this whole world is also taking place on the surface of the I consciousness. From the mirror's point of view, okay, देखते हैं क्या होता है. Maybe I'm jumping. Automatically. The third step is what? What is the third step? Asangatvam. So what is asangatvam? It is not attached. So was the mirror attached to the world? Reflected world? No. Is the consciousness attached to the waking world, the dream world, or the absence of the three worlds, which includes this body and mind? Is it attached? It may not be your experience at the moment, but understand. Maybe if you are available to it, it will just, the penny will drop right now. So just as the mirror is unattached to the reflection, the I consciousness is unattached to the world of waking, the world of dream, which is put together is one dream, and the absence of the dream. And is it not your experience? That if I ask you that for last week or last 10 days or last 1 month or 1 year or whole life, you have been waking, dreaming and deep sleeping, that you slept yesterday, that you were dreaming yesterday, that you were awake yesterday, do you know it? You say yes. Who knows it? That is the I consciousness. But for that, here when I use this trigger by this example, you become available, but you are not able to catch it because your attention is still on the waking, dream, deep sleep. And you are not able to make them dissolve away. For make them dissolve away completely once and for all, you have to be the consciousness. You have to be the consciousness. So this consciousness that I am, it is asangatvam, it is unattached. And I gave you in the today's meditation also that how you are unattached to everything. You are the conscious principle. Eyes are not attached to the world of forms and colors. Ears are not attached to the sound. So many sounds. It does not matter. You are not, the breath is not attached to in-breath, or air is not attached, your nose is not attached to in-breath or out-breath. Breath is coming, breath is going. Your mind is not attached to the thoughts. So many thoughts are coming and so many thoughts are going. Then where is the problem? These examples are told in this manner to bring you back to yourself, that you have never been attached. You feel you are attached because you have given value to that which is not there. That reflection, that dream world, that waking world. You have given value to it. You have given importance to it. Why you have given importance to it? Because you are forgetting to be the I consciousness. You are forgetting to be the mirror surface. You are forgetting to be the unchanging principle. Because you are invested only in waking. You have to keep coming back that I am that, who is other than the waking phenomena, the dream phenomena, and the sleep phenomena. Keep coming back. So this is by this we come to the, what was the third one? Mithyatvam. And this way, I am the Atma, the consciousness, and I am asanga, unattached, and which means that all the events that are taking place in the reflected city in the mirror could not influence the surface of the mirror or the mirror. So apply to yourself. If everything is reflected in the consciousness, because the world, remember, बहुत fine है, the reflection of the city cannot reflect without the mirror. The world of waking and the world of dream cannot take place without the consciousness. It is on the mirror of consciousness this whole thing is going on. The reflected city cannot influence the mirror. The waking and the dream cannot influence the consciousness that I am. All the changes, all the movements, all the activity in the reflected city cannot disturb because of those movements, because of that burning, because of that tsunami, because of that fire, nothing happens to the. Similarly, whatever happens in the dream, nothing happens to you because you are the undisturbed one. You are the waker. Similarly, nothing that happens in this waking world can disturb you because you are the consciousness. Step by step you come back. But we live completely opposite way. Reacting, identifying, investing too much in this. So, in this way, so if there is interaction taking place between the mind and the body, let it take place. If there is an interaction taking place between two people in the reflection of the mirror, let it take place. Mirror is not affected. If someone is angry at someone, let them be angry. If someone is hugging someone, let them hug someone. If someone is eating food, let them be eating food. If they are burping and showing that they are satisfied, let them. It does not affect the status of the mirror. Are we able to come to this position that whatever is happening to the body and whatever is happening to the mind, which is part of the waking reflection, it's happening on the surface of conscious mirror, the I consciousness, you remain undisturbed by whatever is happening. And you are doing it right now. The sun is shining, there is some sound coming, some birds chirping, so many people are sitting here, but you are undisturbed. Only if I say Krupa, immediately all your attention will go to Krupa. If I say Nagaraj, immediately your attention will go to Nagaraj. Trigger. I say both, immediately it will go there. If I say Adhishthanittvam, immediately your attention will go, what examples we took there. The moment I say Satyatvam, immediately. But see, these words are there. They will remain only in your head if you don't apply that you are the Adhishtan, I consciousness. You are the Satyatvam, you are the I consciousness. You are the Asanga principle, the I consciousness. And what's the next one? Advaitam, you are the I consciousness, just as the mirror is. Just as the waker is with reference to the dream. Reclaim who you are. Claim your reality by coming back. And everything is a trigger. This is what Guru Gita teaches. Dattatreya Maharaj is sitting there under a tree, and one king comes and says, would you like food? If you want to give, you give. If you don't want to give, don't give. And he says, after he gave, he says, can I ask you a question? If you want to ask, you ask. If you don't want to ask, don't ask. Then he asked, how come I am a king with all the wealth and all the possessions and so much land and everything is at my beck and call, and you seem to be more content and more happy as compared to me. Please tell the secret. And he tells him that I learn from everything. And what does he learn? From the crow he learned not to peck on everything. From the pigeon he learned. From the snake he learned. What he learned? To come back to the consciousness. From the prostitute he learned. From the space he learned. From the water. So everything, every trigger, he didn't ask for the trigger. Eyes are open, something will come in front of you. Ears are open, some word will come to you, sound will come to you. So he was so alert that whatever triggers came, they became an impetus to fall back into the I consciousness. Just like here, every word in this example which is given, which we are taking so much time to explain, hopefully it is bringing us back to the consciousness. We are using so many words, but it is the purpose of those words is to lead to the consciousness that we always are. It is, these words are acting as a mirror now. See? So, just as in Bhagavad Gita comes seeing, hearing, seeing, hearing, touching, doing, talking, shunvan, jigran, sprashan, all that word, that sentence is there, and I can't remember the complete shloka. And all that is taking place in the mirror, in the reflected city, but mirror is not affected. All that is taking place in the dream, but the waker is not affected. All that is taking place in the waking world, the I conscious is not affected. See? So in this way, the don't make coming to consciousness as an event in your life. Waking is an event. Dream is an event. Sleep is an event. But being consciousness is not an event. That one day I will realize. No. One day after I have worked out the waking dream, after I have understood this example, then I will be the consciousness. No. You are consciousness right here and now. So, all the events of this world, they do not affect the adhishthan, the Atma that I am, the I consciousness that I am, and because this adhishthan, this Atma Tattva that I am, this I consciousness that I am, it is the substratum, it is the truth, it is the unattached one, and it is one without a second. Just as mirror were one without a second, in spite of all the variety that was seen in the mirror, just as the waker was one in spite of all the variety that was seen in the dream, similarly, I am that consciousness in spite of all the variety that is seen in this world. Be that. Nothing to be done. Nothing to be achieved. What does our Swamiji say? Nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is the appropriate moment to chant that. Life is a time pass क्या फर्क पड़ता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं, जो थारी राय सो मारी राय, nothing to do, nowhere to go, देखो सुनो मत बोलो, wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक, किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो, ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना, who asked you live at zero complaint level, मौज में रहो, be happy. Some Hindi words there, I'll explain. Life is a time pass, don't take it too serious. It's all just like mirror doesn't take the reflected world very seriously, you also don't take your life seriously. Be joyful, be happy for no reason. If you are not understanding, be happy. If you are understanding, understand that it doesn't need to be understood. Be happy. You are already that. हाँ? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Don't worry, be happy. आगे आता है क्या? Don't worry, be happy. हाँ, नहीं. So क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Does not matter. Everything is as it is. Then कोई दिक्कत नहीं, पता नहीं. There is no problem in life. If you don't give value to problem, there is no problem in life. If you give attention to problem, there is no end of it. So question is, where do you give attention? Vishvam darpana drishyamana nagri. It will come to the next word. Yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye. You come back to the I consciousness. Give attention to that I consciousness. There are no solutions in the world, and no solutions are required when you are the self. No desires of the world can ever be satisfied. All desires are satisfied when you are in the self, as the self. Why? World doesn't exist. Desire is always about the world. World itself is not there. Jo thari rai so mare rai. Don't insist in the world. If someone says, can I fill up your water? Okay, fill it up. Someone says, you want a coffee? Okay. Their job is, they asked, let them make. Your choice is whether to drink it or not. Let them make. देखो बहुत बड़ी बात है. This is very big thing. We get caught up. I made the coffee for Swamiji and he didn't even touch it. Well, you came and asked, and you, with so much love, devotion, we do that to Swamiji, Mahatmas, we do that. And you drink, he takes one sip and keeps it away. Don't feel bad. Why did you initiate? You also sit quietly. So, Jo Thari Rai, if when we are moving through the world, don't insist about anything. I insist when she is sitting next to me in the car. She says, drive this way, I go that way. Always. Because I think I know better. Most of the time it's true. But I'm just, so Jo Thari Rai, so Mari Rai. So whatever is your opinion, that is my opinion. What is your opinion, sir? I have got no opinion. Mirror has got no opinion. Mirror is saying, whatever is, if it had to say something, whatever is happening, it's okay. If there is fire, I am fire. If there is water, I am water. He doesn't say that, but as a personality, when you are moving in this world, this is the best disposition. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Where is all coming and going happening? In the reflection. Is the mirror coming and going anywhere? No. Where all coming and going is happening? In the dream. Is the waker going and coming anywhere? No. In that example. Come back further. There is all coming and going in this waking world. But is the conscious principle coming and going anywhere? No. When you take the position that waking, dream and sleep are coming, they are coming and going. So you are not coming and going. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. All going and doing is happening in the reflection, in the dream world, which includes the waking world, and it is existing in its own absence. Then what is that? Dekho suno mat bolo. This is coming from Anand Mahima. Dekho, look. Suno, listen. Mat bolo. Don't pass any comment. Keep your mouth shut. Keep everything inside. Don't allow it to blurt, because the moment you blurt something out, there will be equal opposite reaction. If I say something and I show it to look at her, whatever statement I'm making here, she may look with a acha. Another may go to sleep. Third one, what did you say? There's some reaction coming from everyone, isn't it? So what am I doing? I don't care. It will come afterwards. I don't care what is coming back. I am only busy with what I have to be. I'm not even busy. I'm just watching what is taking place. So, dekho suno mat bolo. Wherever, whenever, whatever you are, wherever, space-time objectivity, all three are covered here. Wherever, somewhere this whole reflection is taking place, be 100%. So whatever roles you are taking, if at the functional level, whatever, wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are, be 100%, play the role 100%. How do you do the role 100%? Like a drama. Like the actor does the role on the stage 100%. He knows he is not the king, but he does the role of the king 100%. For that, he comes only on the stage for some time. He is the original one. He is going to get money, or he is going to get, his posters are put everywhere, but he has to perform the role. If he performs the role 100%, people will clap, they will give accolades. But if he doesn't do the role, suddenly he forgets that he is the king, that he is the husband. And that starts interpolating the dialogues of the king, whatever dialogue delivery he has to do. Tomatoes, eggs, chappals will come from the audience. Isn't it? Free of cost. फिर बाद में दुकान लगा के have a shop of all the chappals and eggs and sell and make some money, because the director is not going to pay you anything. See? Be 100% Karnataka. Karnataka, this whole place, this is a stage. The mirror surface is the stage where the movie of reflection is going on. In the movie theaters, the screen is the stage on which the whole movie is being played out. Similarly, this consciousness is the foundation on which this entire movie, this reflection of waking, dream and deep sleep, the whole universe is taking place. It's a drama. Don't be too serious. Wherever you find yourself, be 100%. Don't take the roles too seriously. So everything chalta hai. Everything is all right. किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो. Don't ask anyone to come, don't ask anyone to go from your life. Including your thoughts, including your breath. If you don't say anything, when you take control of breath, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. If you are watching the breath, its nature is coming in and going out. It will automatically become slow and shallow. When the sleep comes, her child, it pushes the sleep away, isn't it? He doesn't want to waste the time while he's along with the people. Her father, Naresh was telling, the moment he got into the car has just started, kadak, gone. He was so exhausted. But he didn't want to, living 100%. That is living in 100%. Then next, he slept 100%. And the moment they wake up, they are 100% active. In us, there is lag. We don't live 100%, we don't play 100%, we don't act 100%, we don't get attached also 100%, we don't get detached also 100%. We don't live as a waker 100%, we don't dream 100%, we don't sleep 100%. We are not being 100%. This 100% thing will not come by sleeping to the I consciousness. You have to come back to be the substratum. That's where the 100% comes. Then when that 100% I am, then it will, that is all there is in the end anyway. Everything is only the mirror, reflection. It will also be 100%. That ability, what others will see. You are not saying that I am going to be 100%. Others will see this person is performing 100%. And then the next one, na kuch pana, na kuch khona. There is nothing to gain and nothing to lose in life. Because loss and gain is in the world. Loss and gain is in waking, dream, sleep. Loss and gain is at the equipment level. Who are you? The substratum, the I consciousness. There is no loss and gain there. You are complete. So what are you searching for? So our scriptures say it is a gainless gain. It's a gainless gain.
Nothing to serve.
Nothing to?
To search for.
Nothing to search for. Nothing to search for. And these words are bringing us to that. And last one, who asked you, live at zero complaint level. If people ask, who asked you? Meaning, no complaint. Why you did not this? Why did you, Swamiji, why did you not answer this question? Swamiji, why? People ask, Swamiji. No questions asked. Live at zero. Discover the substratum within yourself. We'll conclude with this. And we'll come back to अभी तो अभी 2 लाइन और है ये अभी तो सेकंड लाइन पे जाना है अभी तो फर्स्ट लाइन हुआ है विश्वं दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतम् पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद् भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नम इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Just sit silently for a few moments.